Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Abbas Ali, a full-time orthopedic surgeon, a faculty of orthopedics and a part-time YouTuber. Today we'll talk about sustainable progress to achieve major goals in life. We all know that when we are working on something important, something big, we come across good days where we do well and bad days when we can't get anything done. And when we come across a series of bad days, we usually end up losing confidence and start spiraling into anxiety and depression. In this video, I will tell you how you can avoid that and change the whole concept of good days and bad days from your vocabulary. If you stick till the end, I'm sure you will find this valuable. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Now before I tell you anything, I want you to understand why I felt the need to make this video. I wanted to discuss this for a very long time, especially since I launched the Study Revolution on my Instagram handle. I started receiving a lot of messages and I noticed a pattern in these messages. They were categorically of two types, one of praises and the other of criticism. Oh, I forgot, there must be many of you who don't know about this revolution. Let me just bring you up to speed so that you can understand the whole picture. So I've been using Instagram for many days now and I find that platform less painful because there is communication but mostly in images. I like the concept, it's simple and does not have the clutter of Facebook. No, don't get me wrong, I am very active on Facebook as well, but Instagram has this simplicity which appealed to me. So whenever I am being a waste man browsing the social media, I find myself more on Instagram than anywhere else. I guess my YouTube roots appealed more to Instagram because it's more visual. Now on Instagram, there is a trend known as studygramming. It's where people who are studying post photographs of their study table or their study material and write small posts about it. And they do it on a daily basis, kind of like journaling their progress. These people are known as studygrammers because they're using Instagram for studying. So this concept attracted me because people were using social media for something other than trolling. They were using it to be more productive. So I started following a few popular studygrammers and I wanted my students to know about this because this was very motivating. But the biggest challenge of Instagram, you see, is to make a community, whereas on Facebook, you can just make a Facebook group and people can join. So now I was in a fix because I wanted to use Instagram to help my students do something productive and also have a community so that we can interact with each other. This gave me an idea of a hashtag Study Revolution. Now the concept behind Study Revolution was very simple. All you had to do was put up anything to do with your studies with the hashtag Study Revolution and you tag me, the Boneteacher, that's my Instagram handle, and put a post or stories and I'll pick a few and reshare them on my account. I'm sorry, for the people who don't know how Instagram stories work, it's like these are posts that only last for 24 hours and then they disappear. Something like WhatsApp statuses, okay? So I asked my followers on Instagram to put up their daily schedules as their stories with the appropriate Study Revolution hashtag and tag me, the Boneteacher, and I started resharing them on my handle. Now by this time, I already had a very strong following, which is mostly medical students from India, but also from all over the world. And what is the one common thing among medical students all over the world? Yes, they are always studying for some exam. And what is the biggest challenge when you study for an exam? Yes, the motivation to get up and start studying, right? So here's what I did. As soon as the students started sharing their stories with me, I reposted them, but early in the morning. Why? See, what do most of you do when you get up in the morning? You pick up your smartphones and waste a lot of time scrolling through social media. So now anyone who was browsing through Instagram stories would see those daily schedules of other students and get a rude shock that there are people who have already planned their days and have started studying for it, which potentially made them reconsider their use of time. The whole idea of Study Revolution, friends, was to motivate people on a large scale, people who procrastinated because they lacked that bit of motivation. And when you see people doing stuff around you, you want to do it yourself, and that's exactly what happened. This positive influence led to a lot of people participating and benefiting. Another thing I wanted to mention here is that once the story was put up, it was like an indirect agreement between the student and everyone in the community that they will do whatever it takes to finish as much as possible. And this is the second aspect of Study Revolution, accountability. You can't run away from your tasks because everyone expects you to do it now, unless you have an extremely valid reason. Anyways, this started gaining momentum. Seeing my stories, many people started studying, because human beings have a tendency of copying the people they hang out with. I gave my followers the good people, the good friends they should hang out with. It was like you were sitting in a library where everyone around you was studying. Now I also run challenges every now and then to keep people motivated while they study, and this again obviously generated a lot of interest among students, and more people started participating. They started sharing study plans, tips and tricks. It's so beautiful to see so many students helping each other out. Now the community started coming up with their own little challenges under Study Revolution, like the 10-day challenge or the 15-day challenge and whatnot. So what's the point, sir? Why am I telling you all of this? Well, because even though I know this revolution has helped many students, there is still a section of people who are getting anxious by looking at these stories every day. They felt inadequate because they thought they were not good enough or productive enough. This group of people were getting very anxious looking at everyone else's stories and plans and achievements. So this is when I thought I should address this by explaining the simple concept of sustainable work. See, when you work for a goal that is far away in terms of time, you face a major problem of maintaining consistency. Like say you have an exam coming up in a few months, or a very important meeting coming up in a few weeks. You'll be working for that goal over that stipulated period of time. And since that time is spread out in so many days or weeks or months even, you will encounter a variety of days. You will have good days, you will have great days. There will be days where you will be able to do so much. But unfortunately, there will also be bad days, terrible days, and days when you will be able to do nothing. Now I know you must have heard a million analogies here, ranging from it's okay na beta, children fall many times before they learn to walk. You must have also heard about life is like an ECG where there are ups and downs because a flat line means death, and other cringy stuff like that. I know, it's okay. I promise you, I'm not gonna share any of that. I just want you to understand the concept of sustainable targets. Sustainable targets are something you can do on an average every day, irrespective of the kind of day, good or bad. So how do you know what the sustainable target of work is for you? In other words, what is your average capacity to do something every day? See, all you have to do is find out what your best days look like and your worst days look like in terms of your capacity to do a task. For example, say you study for 7 hours on your best day and only 1 hour on your worst day. So the average is 7 plus 1, 8 by 2 is 4 hours every day. That is the number I want you to keep in mind. That's your average capacity per day. Now your aim should be to do more than 4 hours every day. Obviously, on good days, you will be able to do a lot more than that. But also on bad days, sometimes you don't read a single word. So wait, let me finish. Now take that 4 hours and extrapolate that number over a week's time. So 4 into 7 is equals to 28 hours. Perfect. Now every week you need to assess yourself. Not every day, but every week. If you're able to study more than 28 hours in a week, you had a pretty decent week. Remember, it has to be calculated over a week, not by the day, because days are too variable in terms of output. Some days are good and some days are bad. We need to flatten out the variability curve and look at the bigger picture. Trust me, if you put it across like that, you will be surprised to see that your number will almost always be higher than you expected. And you're usually doing well if you examine yourself over a week rather than a day. The simple reason is we as humans are very critical about ourselves. We tend to compare all days with our best days, and that is not possible. There will be all sorts of days. But once you spread them out over a week, you will realize you will have more good days than bad. But we only focus on the bad days and feel bad and beat ourselves about it. That's just how we are programmed. So if any time you feel you can't keep up with someone else, or if you're getting anxious by the study revolution, just tell yourself maybe it's their good day and not yours. This has personally helped me keep my work sustainable and avoid burning out. And one more pro tip, if your day is going very well and you have peaked early, my personal opinion is to take a break. This way you avoid the early sense of satisfaction that eventually leads to pseudo-confidence. I'll talk more about this later. That was a long video, wasn't it? I hope you understand what I talked about today. Comment below and let me know how you will implement this in your daily life. All you have to do is flatten your weekly curve and come back and tell me if it has helped you. If I have helped you in any way, click the thumbs up button and share this video with your friends. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing and don't forget to click on the bell icon. I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.